Tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use Google Sheets to make a chart of your data with a trend line. So you're at the point in a lab where you've collected a bunch of data. I'm just going to go ahead and copy that data right now. And we want to graph it. Well, Google Sheets is your friend in that regard. So open up your Google Workspace. I'm going to go ahead and navigate to the folder where I want it to go right away. And once I'm in that folder, I'm going to create a new Google Sheets. Spreadsheets are applications that are made for analyzing and visualizing data. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the untitled spreadsheet up here and give it a name. What did we call this? Density capstone. And you can see that all you get is this grid. And if I click around here, you see that it'll highlight the various boxes in this grid. Those are called cells. Right now I've highlighted cell D5. And these are spots where you can enter data. If you click and drag with the touchpad or the mouse, you can select multiple cells at once. Here I've selected cell C3 all the way down through G14. So that's a region that I've selected. So what we want to do is we want to get our data in here, and remember I just copied this text. So I'm going to click over off to the side somewhere here, and I'm going to paste that stuff that I just copied. This is just a note to myself. Google Sheets can't read this data as is. I have to format it a little differently. So I'm going to go to cell A1. What I need is one column for my x-axis on my graph, and I need another column for my y-axis. And what I just did is I clicked and I just started typing x-axis. And then if you hit enter, it'll go down. If you hit tab, it'll go to the right and you can start typing there. Now I'm going to click down underneath the x-axis, and I got to remember how I want to make this graph. Remember, I'm trying to find density, and I remember that density is mass divided by volume, and I remember that slope is rise over run. So I want the rise, the x-axis, sorry, I'm wrong. The rise is the y-axis to be the mass. So my y-axis is my mass in grams. And my x-axis, I'll click here, that's my volume in milliliters. I'm doing bolts, so I'm actually going to write cubic centimeters there. And then I don't need these notes to myself anymore, so I'm just going to highlight both of these cells by clicking and dragging. And if I hit the delete key on my keyboard, those are gone, and that's good. Now this is optional, but if you want, you can make this look prettier. You can highlight all these cells like I just did, make them bold. You can put a border on the bottom of all that. Doesn't that look pretty? Totally optional. All right, now I can type in my data. Now Google Sheets, you should not type units in with each of your chunks of data. So my first volume was 1.50, and that came from right over here. And then I hit enter, and I'm just going to enter in all these volumes one by one and fill out my x-axis column. You'll notice that it takes out trailing zeros, like it won't show 3.10 and it won't show 1.50. That's totally okay. Don't let that scare you. Now I'm going to enter my masses. My first one was 5.00. And I'll just continue entering that data by typing and hitting enter each time. Again, I did not type units into these boxes. These should only be numbers. Okay, well now I don't need this anymore because I've copied that over correctly, so I'm going to delete that. And what you need to do is start with your mouse in the middle of cell A1, click and drag down to the bottom of the data. You should have all of the data highlighted, nothing more, nothing less, just like this. If I click somewhere else, by the way, it's going to unhighlight what I just did, so you got to be careful about that. Now I have to start again, click and drag down to that corner, let go. And here's where the magic starts. You go to Insert, hit Chart, and bada boom, bada bing, there's your graph. You can change this title if you want. I'm going to change it to bolts. Now you can see we have our dots. I want to make sure that I get everything in here correctly. Now I'm double checking. My mass is the y-axis and my volume is the x-axis, just like I wanted. So that actually worked just fine. If it doesn't work, then go back and re-enter the data correctly. You can see that it is a scatter chart. And in the Setup tab of the chart editor, you can choose different types. Scatter is the one that we want. If it chooses a different type, then you should go to scatter. You'll notice that it deleted my change, so I got to go back and fix that. Okay, and then what I want to do is in the Customize area of the chart editor, I'm going to scroll down, open up this Series area. And if you scroll down just a little, there's a box that says Trend Line. I'm going to click that. I want to make sure that it is linear, and I need to add a label. The label is the equation. And that is pretty much all there is to it. It made the graph for me, it plotted the best fit line, and everybody's happy. Now what I'm going to do is click somewhere with no data on it just once. And what that did is it unselected all of this stuff. Now I'm going to move my mouse to the white space on the chart, and I'm going to click once, and I'm going to copy. So I'm copying this chart, and now back in my lab where I calculate my density, I can paste my chart right there, and I am going to leave it linked to the spreadsheet. And bada boom, bada bing, we have the chart in there. Here's another cool thing, by the way. If you realize that one of your data points was wrong, like this was actually supposed to be 1.52, if I edit that and hit enter, you'll notice that the equation here automatically changed. And since this is linked to this sheet, this should automatically change when I reopen this document as well, or if I hit this update button, you can see it goes and it gets the update right there. Okay, so what's my density? Well, remember the density is the mass divided by the volume, which is the rise over the run of this slope. And so that number right there, that's the slope, 3.24, that's my density. Right? Our density is 3.24 grams per cubic centimeter. Of course, I put the wrong units on all these, but whatever. And that's all there is to it. The graph did all the work for me. Happy charting.